Chambers in the 2-hole. He'll be at second base. Brooks Soap behind the plate. In the 3-hole, Taylor Marshall, the DH. He's the cleanup hitter. Dylan Davenport at shortstop. Cade Moore is in the 6-hole. He's at first base. Carson Crawford at third base. Patrick Malone in the 8-hole. He's in right field. And Caden Ritter will be batting ninth, and he is the center fielder. And the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs is going to be senior right-hander Matthew Smith. All right, we're getting ready for the first pitch. And I tell you what, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back to Henderson Line Field right after this.
Check off your to-do list with big savings on building materials at Kane Hardware and Lumber. Kane's is your one-stop shop for building materials for large-scale jobs, small projects, and everything in between. Whether you're building a house, adding on, or just updating, we carry the concrete, drywall, lumber, insulation, roofing, siding, molding, and many more products you'll need. Add character and charm to your home with our large selection of paint colors. We have all the products you need. Shop Kane Hardware and Lumber at 224 South Shelby Street in Carthage.
As we get ready for the first pitch of this district contest, the district campaign getting underway tonight. All 6 teams in the district will play one game this week, one district game, and then they'll have their third tournament of the season coming up this weekend. Carthage will be playing in the Tatum tournament, and then we start the district schedule over again in earnest next week on Tuesday night. Okay, Kel Preston steps into the left-handed batter's box, and he's going to be facing the lefty, Brian Biggs. Here's the first pitch from Biggs, and it's in there for a strike. Kel Preston, left-handed hitter, got outstanding speed going down to first. He's a good bunter. Here's the pitch. It looked like he was going to he was thinking about bunting. It looked to me like started to square around and put it down, but took it. Strike number 2. 0-2 the count on Kel Preston. Biggs looks down to get the sign from Aiden Butler. Butler setting up outside. Here's the pitch, and it is outside by about a foot and a half or 2 feet. So it's a 1-2 count now to Preston as we get underway here at about 7:15. 7:14, I believe, was the first pitch. So a little bit late. Carthage won the JV game prior to this, the JV red game. Here's the pitch, and this one is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Preston down on strikes to get it underway here in Henderson. And that'll bring up Ty Chambers, the second baseman. Chambers, a right-handed hitter. He's playing some at second this year from what I hear from Coach Causey, and also some in center field. He relieved on the mound a little bit last year, played some second base, played for the most part in right field. This pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. It'll be Preston, Chambers, and Soap. Preston and Chambers, one of the 2 of the returning starters from last year's team. Here's the pitch to him, and this one is in there for strike 2 call. Biggs, even with no runners on, works from the stretch. Carthage coming off a season where they were 31-9 last year, and they lost in the regional semifinals to the China Spring Cougars. Here's the 0-2 to Chambers. Low. And the count now is 1-2. Carthage will be in the Tatum tournament this weekend on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Here's the 1-2. High. 2-2 the count. And I don't have the exact schedule, but when they'll be playing, but I know that they will be playing Rusk, Sabine, I think New Diana's on the schedule, and Tatum. This pitch is hit out into left center field. Center fielder over to his right and makes the catch on the run for out number 2. So Chambers lines out to left center field to the center fielder. 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Brooks Soap, the catcher. Rick Soap, just a sophomore. Carthage going to have to rely on their pitching, especially in the early going this year. Carthage 3-5-2 so far. A couple of the highlights of the season so far. Definitely one of them would be that they, in the Longview tournament, they tied Argyle. That was the only blemish on Argyle's record in that tournament. Argyle won 4, did not lose 1, and they tied 1. Here's a line drive caught by the second baseman, actually a short hop. He's got it over to first in time to get Soap. So Soap is out 4-3, and it's a fast 1-2-3 inning for the Carthage Bulldogs. We'll be back to Henderson Line Field right after this break.
Carthage Independent School District is where champions are educated. As we face another year of uncertainty, Carthage will remain committed to being champions for every child, every day. We will continue being champions in the classroom with the help of our incredible team of teachers. We will continue being champions in extracurriculars, fine arts, and athletic events with the support of our fans along the way. And we will continue being champions for our community. Thank you for your continued support.
The city of Carthage, county seat of Panola County, gas capital of the United States, and friendliest spot in the world. We have it all: temperate weather, lots of jobs, good schools and churches, and even the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame. Carthage, a great spot on Highway 59 to settle down or just to visit for a while. Panola College, local medical care, a low tax base, and great shopping. That's Carthage. Recommend us, refer us, and revive yourself in the piney woods of East Texas. Carthage, with places we're all proud to call home.
Throughout Texas, Louisiana, and New Mexico, one of the largest independent oil field service companies is Pinergy, ranked number 1 in the United States for total number of wells drilled. You'll likely recognize Pinergy Carthage top management: Randy Taylor, Brandon Taylor, Andy Snow, Justin Taylor, and Steve Nations. At the Austin corporate office, senior management offers a combined 400 years experience regarding energy services. No more. Check the website pinergy.com or call 903-693-8400. Pinergy.
All right, here we go to the bottom half of the first inning. No score from Henderson Lion Field as the Carthage Bulldogs go up against the Henderson Lions in the first district ball game. I believe I'm right on this. It being the first broadcast, I may not have all the facts straight, but I believe we are in District 17 4A, Region 3, and a 6-team district. And our schedule is that we will play each team in the district one time, and that'll be the first 5 ball games, and then we start all over again, and we play each team 2 more times, twice in 1 week. Okay, this is Deshaun Jackson leading off. Pop up on the infield. Now it's going to be out in short left center field. Center fielder going over, and the left fielder, Cale Preston, comes in and makes the catch. So Jackson flies out to left on the first pitch to him. Thought that might be on the infield, the shortstop. So in other words, we had 3 players converging on that. The shortstop, Dylan Davenport, going out, Cale Preston coming in and to his left, and the center fielder, Caden Ritter, coming in and to his right. And Preston made the catch. This one hit out to left center field. Here's Ritter over to his right. He's there, and 2-hands it for out number 2. So 2 pitches and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. Again, the Bulldogs 3-5-2 for the season. Henderson is 4-5-1. So both teams have played 10 games. Every team in the district has had a tie so far, with the exception of Gilmer. And you ask, well, how can those ties occur? Well, those ties occur in tournament games. Here's a pitch. This was swung on and missed for strike 2. So Butler behind in the count now 0-2. Matthew Smith with the 0-2. High, 1-2 the count. And in tournament games, they have a limit as time limit. And once the time limit arrives, well, they finish the inning, but then that's the end of the ball game. And so this one is popped up, and it's on the infield. Soap calling for it, and he makes the catch. And a near collision as the third baseman came down. That was Carson Crawford. And Crawford and Soap almost collided. Soap, I tell you what, I'm impressed with him because he held his concentration. And even though Crawford, he made contact with him coming down the line, coming down from third base, but did not knock him down. Soap made the catch, even though he wound up on the ground. A near bad collision there between Soap and Crawford, but Soap did a great job and came up with it. So 3 up and 3 down for the Henderson Lions in the bottom half of the first inning. So in other words, we had no base runners in the first inning. We're going to take a break. We'll be back at Henderson Lion Field right after this.
Better solutions, better building comes from Louisiana Pacific, caring and involved corporate resident. Friends and neighbors in Panola County are the foundation of business at Louisiana Pacific, delivering high-performance building products in the area. You know these folks. You know them from church, civic clubs, as volunteers in the work they do in the community, and at Louisiana Pacific. Good people in good company with you and Louisiana Pacific.
Genpack Carthage, over 50 years servicing the food and restaurant industry with superior products. Advancing innovative packaging to enhance the human experience is more than just our purpose statement. It's our driving passion to make people's lives better through the food packaging they use daily. Genpack's dedication to quality assures you get food containers and packaging at its best. Browse and find what you need at genpack.com or look for our products on amazon.com. We are everywhere. Made right here in Carthage by folks you know. Genpack.
All right, we're back here at Henderson Lion Field as we get ready for the top half of the second inning. Well, I tell you what, you talk about pitching efficiency. The Bulldogs went down in order in the top half of the inning, and I believe that would have been on 3-7. That was on 10 pitches. And then the Henderson Lions went down on only 6 pitches in the bottom half of the inning. So both teams 1, 2, 3 and out in the first inning, and now we go to the top of the second. And for Carthage, it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hole hitters coming up. Taylor Marshall, the DH, will lead off. Left-handed hitter. Just a very slight open stance up at the plate and takes that one outside for ball 1. Bulldogs again will be at Tatum this weekend. And I don't have the exact schedule in front of me. That one's high for ball 2. But they will be facing New Diana, Tatum, Rusk, and Sabine. I believe those are the 4 teams they will face. There's a strike. 2-1 the count now to Taylor Marshall. Marshall, a left-handed hitter. The DH tonight, he'll be followed by Dylan Davenport, another one of the starters back from last year. Davenport at shortstop, also is a pitcher. This pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. Again, the Bulldogs this year, they've got some depth on the mound. We've got depth there. We can hold most teams. You know, we can pitch well. I think they can play pretty good defense. The issue is going to be at the plate, at least in the early going. All right, 2-2 the count now on Marshall. Here's the 2-2. Outside and low, ball 3. Marshall choking up on the bat about an inch. Here's the pitch, and that one's low for ball 4. The catcher started to throw it around the infield. I think he thought that was strike 3. So Marshall on first with a leadoff walk. And now the batter is Dylan Davenport. Now remember, Henderson has a lefty on the mound, so he's got a good look at the runners on first base. Davenport tries to bunt put down a bunt and fouls it back. Now, that one got over the screen, and I tell you what, if it had a different direction, it would have been very close to us. Fensom, are you going to, Brenton, you going to make the play if a ball comes in the press box here? Brenton Fenson, responsible for the video tonight. Now, I assume that people can hear us on 104.3. Is that right? Okay, all right. So if you're listening to it on 104.3, you can also view it on YouTube. Here's a pitch high and outside. And the count now is 1-1. And I suppose if you are going to view it on YouTube, you go to YouTube, and then you search for, here's a bunt, nice bunt there. And this can be a base hit right here. No, he got him. Very close play at first base. Outstanding play there by the pitcher, Brian Biggs. I thought that was going to get past Biggs, and it really sort of did, but Biggs caught up to it and made an off-balance throw to the first baseman to nip Davenport at first base. So Davenport is out 1-3. And that is a sacrifice bunt, moving Marshall down to second base, and he's there with one out. All right, the batter now is Cade Moore, the first baseman. Moore, right-handed hitter. Nice bump by Dylan Davenport. If he gets that one a little bit closer to the first baseline, he's going to have a base hit. Pitch is low and inside for ball one. So the Bulldogs with a threat here. They've got a runner in scoring position at second with one out, and a 1-0 count on Cade Moore. That one bounces back to the screen, gets past the catcher. He loses track of it, loses sight of it for momentarily, and then finds it. And going over to third on the wild pitch is Marshall. So now the Bulldogs have a runner at third with one out. And the count is 2-0 to Cade Moore. Carthage again 3-5-2 on the season. Henderson 4-5-1. This pitch swung on and missed. 2-1 the count now. Want to thank the folks here at Henderson because they have allowed us to come into the press box. And so we've set up our camera here. Always best if you have a camera location that's up high, you can get a better view of the field. That pitch is fouled also. It's now 2-2 on Cade Moore. And we will be back here again in a few weeks to remind you again of the district schedule. And the coaches in this district voted to do it last year, and you also do it. You do it for 2 years in a row. This pitch is swung on and fouled back into the screen. I've been doing Bulldog baseball. I'm not for sure exactly how many years. I think this is about year 28. And this is the first time that we've had this type. Well, last year was the first time we've had this type of district schedule. Up until this year, we played a district schedule where we faced every district team twice. This pitch is lined into right field for a base hit, and the Dogs will lead it 1-0. That was a line drive to the right of the first baseman. He stuck out his glove across his body trying to come up with it, but could not. And so it is an RBI single for Cade Moore. And the Bulldogs lead it 1-0 here. So Marshall scores. And that brings up Carson Crawford, the third baseman. Carson, a two-sport athlete. Right-handed hitters, just a slightly open stance up at the plate. He's one of our outside linebackers on the football team. And one of the best things about Carson Crawford, he's going to be back for 2 more years. He's just a sophomore. All right, Biggs, the lefty, looks over at the runner at first. That's Cade Moore. And the pitch is, well, let's see. I'm not for sure what that pitch was, but the count's 1-1. There was a strike there, okay. So the first pitch was out of the zone. Second one was a strike. 1-1 the count now. Here's the next one high. That's 2-1 now. 2-1 the count. Bulldogs facing a lefty tonight, Brian Biggs. Biggs has yet to throw over to first, even though he's got the lefties obviously have a great view of the runners at first base. Brett Pirtle, assistant coach, is the first base coach for the Bulldogs. Jason Causey down at third base, the head coach. 2-1 the count on Crawford. Here's the 2-1. This one swung on and missed, strike 2. On deck is Patrick Malone, the right fielder. Boy, a beautiful night for baseball. I tell you what, no threat of rain, just about no wind at all. That one fouled back into the screen, so the count stays at 2-2. And if you're wondering when will the Bulldogs be at home, well, it's going to be a week from tonight. Spring Hill Panthers will come to town. All right, here's the 2-2. Foul back into the screen. So, again, the district schedule, we play Henderson. It starts tonight. And then all 6 teams will be in tournaments. In a tournament this weekend, Carthage will be in the Tatum tournament. And then we resume district play next Tuesday. Here's the 2-2. High, 3-2. And next Tuesday, Spring Hill, who would have to be considered, I think, one of the favorites in the district, they come to Carthage. And then after that, it's 2 straight road games. Here's the 3-2. High, ball 4. So the second walk in the inning for the Bulldogs. Moore goes down to second. He advances to second. Crawford on first, and that brings up Patrick Malone. Patrick Malone, the right fielder. And so, again, we play each of the 5 teams, and I think it's in this order. Henderson, Spring Hill, and then next I'm pretty sure is Kilgore. And the 4th game will be, that'll be at Kilgore. And then we go to Gilmer. Here's a ground ball, 1-hopper back to the mound. He goes to third base for the force out. So that was a 1-hopper back to the mound, and Biggs immediately went to third to get the lead runner. So Moore is out there 1-5 for out number 2. Crawford moves up to second, and Malone is on first with a fielder's choice. And that brings up the bottom of the order now in Caden Ritter. So now we've got runners at first and second with 2 down in the inning, and a run in. Carthage leads at 1-0 here in the top of the second. Ritter, a right-handed batter, center fielder. This one, high pitch. Looked out like it was out of the zone, and he swung at it and missed. There's a strike. 0-2 the count. Oh, and 2 on Ritter. Runners at first and second with 2 down in the top of the second inning. Carthage with a run in, and they lead it 1-0. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Ritter down on strikes, and the Bulldogs get on the board here in the first inning with a run. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We go now to the bottom of the first, bottom of the second, bottom of the second, and we'll have that for you after this 60-second break. 60 seconds.
FlowZone is your industry leader for all oil and gas pipe, valve fitting, and supply needs. FlowZone Carthage has over 130 years of combined experience with an outstanding safety record. FlowZone, located at 1092 Highway 59 South, just south of Denny's, is ready to offer customer service that will exceed your expectations with services such as free delivery and competitive pricing. Call them today, 903-263-0200.
Ready to supercharge your future in the energy industry? Panola College is introducing the brand new Matthews Foundation Energy Building, opening its doors this fall with programs in electrician, HVAC, natural gas compression, and welding. Small class sizes, state-of-the-art equipment, and personalized attention, where your goals are our priority. Our hands-on approach means you're diving into the real-world energy experience, setting you up for success from day one. Enroll today at panola.edu/energy to start your electrifying future.
All right, we're back here at Henderson Lion Field, going to the bottom of the second. Carthage leading the Henderson Lions 1-0, and continue with that discussion of the district schedule. So next week we will face Spring Hill at home, Kilgore on the road. The following week we will face Gilmer on the road and Center at home. So in those first 5 games, we will play 2 at home and 3 on the road. Last year was just the opposite. In the first 5 games, we played 3 at home and 2 on the road. Here's the first pitch from Matthew Smith in the bottom of the second. And it's low and outside for ball 1 to Caden Foster. It'll be Foster, Jones, and Fabiani. Here's the pitch. This one fouled back into the screen. 1-1 the count. So after we complete the first 5 games, that's playing each team 1 time. Then we start all over again in the same order, and we play each team twice. Strike 2 call on a breaking ball from Matthew Smith. So Matthew ahead now, Foster 1-2. Here's the windup, the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Foster goes down on strikes. And that brings up Mason Jones, the center fielder. And so, yes, we'll, after those 5 games against playing each team in the district 1 time, the next week after that, we'll play Henderson twice. Once here and once at home, and then we'll play Spring Hill twice. This pitch is fouled off on the right side. The first baseman over in foul ground and makes a one-handed grab for out number 2. Cade Moore over there to make that play. So 2 up and 2 down for Henderson Lions here in the bottom half of the second inning. So you wind up playing 15 district games instead of 10. This one popped up on the infield. Okay, first baseman coming down, and Carson Crawford also there, and he makes the catch. That was going to be a tough play for the catcher, Brooks Soap, because those pop-ups behind the plate, they go up, and you think you're right there, and it comes back toward the field of play, and it's really tough for the catcher to make the play. Fortunately, Crawford came down alertly from third base and made the play. Nice play, Carson Crawford. So a very short inning again for Matthew Smith, as the Henderson Lions go down in order 1, 2, 3. Top of 3 coming up. We'll have it for you after this 60-second break. 60 seconds.
Bink's Quick Stop in Carthage on the corner of 699 and The Loop. Open Sunday through Thursday from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. Open for breakfast, and the grill is open throughout the day, and it provides the best hamburgers in town. You can also get a grilled chicken or chicken fried steak. It's all fresh and made from scratch. And, of course, you can fill up your tank with gas. That's at Bink's Quick Stop in Carthage, again on the corner of 699 and The Loop.
Farmers State Bank, a name that you know and can depend on. We're your neighbors and community partners. We're committed to meeting your financial needs by providing banking solutions for your mortgage, commercial, or personal loans. With 118 years of service to our community, we're part of your local rodeos, 4-H, and festivals. We want you to know that we're here for you. Visit us at fsbctx.bank or come see us today. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back at Henderson Lyon Field, we go to the top of the third, and it's the top of the order coming up. Cale Preston will lead it off. He struck out in the first inning. Preston, a left-handed hitter. And I mentioned that Carson Crawford is a two-sport athlete at Carthage High School. This young man is a four-sport athlete. He played quite a bit as a wideout for the Carthage football team. On the Carthage golf team, the varsity team, starter in basketball and a starter in baseball. And he told me that his dad, Darren Preston, who hit count on Cale is now 2-0. His dad, who is the defensive coordinator for the football team and assistant AD, he's also the head track coach. All right, 3-0 now on Cale. His dad told Cale that he may be running an event this year for Carthage in track. He told me which event, and I can't remember for sure which one it is. Here's the 3-0. Outside ball 4. So Preston walks on 4 pitches. And he is a threat to run right here. All right, so we've got a leadoff man on, good speed, and here comes the Henderson coach out to visit with his lefty, Brian Biggs. We'll take a 30-second break and come back right after this.
Farmers State Bank, a name that you know and can depend on. We're your neighbors and community partners. We're committed to meeting your financial needs by providing banking solutions for your mortgage, commercial, or personal loans. With 118 years of service to our community, we're part of your local rodeos, 4-H, and festivals. We want you to know that we're here for you. Visit us at fsbctx.bank or come see us today. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, the conference on the mound has been completed between Biggs and the head coach, Jordan O'Bannon. And that brings now Ty Chambers up. He lined out to center his first time. Actually, the center fielder caught it in left center field. So now runner on first with nobody out here in the third. Carthage up 1-0. And Chambers gets down the bunt. Good bunt. Third baseman throws to first in time. And Cale Preston is now going to try for third, and he'll make it. The third baseman came in and fielded the bunt and threw to first. And Cale Preston, nearing second base, he saw that third. No one was at third. In other words, when the third baseman came in, third baseman is close to the plate by the time he threw it to first base. And so he can't get back to third, and no one went over to cover third. And so Preston goes all the way to third base on that bunt. So it's a sacrifice bunt for Ty Chambers. Chambers is out 5-3, and that's a sacrifice. And Preston all the way to third. So now we've got a runner at third with just one out. Got to get him in. Brooks Soap, the batter, he grounded to second base his first time up. Pitch is high to him. And the Henderson Lions, knowing that Matthew Smith so far has set down 6 straight lines, they think, well, we may not be scoring many runs tonight. The Henderson Lions have brought the infield in. They're on the edge of the grass. 1-0 to Soap. Here's the 1-0. That one's low, 2-0. Yeah, the speed of Cale Preston played a role right there, and just being a smart base runner, too. He was on first. Chambers got the bunt down, a good bunt. Third baseman came in and fielded it on the run through to first. That left third base unoccupied. No one went down to cover third. This pitch is fouled off. And so Preston took advantage of that and went from first to third on the sacrifice. Again, Carthage with some good pitching this year. This one is fouled out of play, and the count now is 2-2. We've got some depth on the mound, and that and our defense is going to be our strength, at least in the early part of the year. This is not a great hitting team so far. Here's the 2-2 pitch, outside and high, 3-2. So we're going to have to do things like we just did right there. We're going to play some small ball. I would be surprised this year if we had a ball hit out of the ballpark. Maybe later on in the year. Here's a stretch by Biggs, the 3-2. This one fouled out of play. So we're going to play some small ball, get down the sacrifice bunts. We're going to we cannot afford to make errors in the field. Here's the stretch by Biggs, the 3-2. This one fouled out of play again. So Soap, just a sophomore, he's a sophomore catcher. And I know Coach Causey is, he's pretty high on this young man. He thinks that he could be a 3-year starter behind the plate. This pitch is fouled back, and boy, I tell you what, that'd be a luxury, wouldn't it, to have a 3-year starter behind the plate. I'm trying to remember Dustin Russell, now the head coach at Tatum. Was he a 3-year starter behind the plate? At least 2 years. I think it was 3. He didn't bat all of those years. Here's a 3-2 pitch. This one is lined into right field for a base hit. I tell you what, if the infield is back, the second baseman's going to get that. If the infield is back, the second baseman's going to get it. But when you bring the infield in, you know, the chances of the hitter getting a base hit, they improve. And that was a line drive just over the outstretched hand or glove of the second baseman. If he's back, he's going to get that one, no doubt about it. But he was not back, and so that's an RBI single for Brooks Soap. And now the Bulldogs lead it 2-0 here. Taylor Marshall, the batter. Yeah, the Bulldogs. As you think about the seniors that we lost from last year's team, and I can't remember how many of these guys were 3-year starters. But you had the catcher. Braden Smith at third, and then Connor Cuff at short. You had Brooks Brewster, who would have been playing either first base or pitching, our top pitcher, and then Noah Patty in center field. Todd Register was the catcher. So Register, Smith, Cuff, Brewster, Patty. Wow. I was looking at my scorebook from the last, there's a 1-0 count, incidentally, not now on Taylor Marshall. So a run in here in this inning, still only 1 out, and we've got Brooks Soap at first base. And the pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. I was looking at my scorebook from last year, and those were, at the end of the year, those were the top 5 in the order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's outside, 2-1 the count. Patty was leading off. Connor Cuff batting second. I think maybe Register was third, Brewster fourth, and Braden Smith fifth. There's a strike on the outside corner. So the count now is 2-2. 2-2 now on Taylor Marshall. with one out here in the third, a run in for Carthage. And Brooks Soap is on first with his RBI single. And the pitch is strike three call. Biggs with a fastball right over the outside corner. Nice pitch by Brian Biggs. Tell you what, he painted that on the corner. Beautiful pitch. You got to give him credit. And so Marshall is out on strikes for out number 2. Of course, remember, Marshall's a left-handed batter and Biggs a lefty, so, you know, that gives the pitcher a little bit of advantage there. Okay, Dylan Davenport up now. He put out a sacrifice bunt his first time. This one lined into left field. It'll be in for a base hit. Soap is going to stop at second. So Soap to second on the line drive single to left by Davenport. So the Bulldogs now with 2 hits in the inning, 3 hits for the ball game. All of them singles. Now again, we don't have anyone on this team yet, from what I have heard, that is a threat to drive one out of the ballpark. This one is fouled out of play. But, you know, they've got a lot of young players. This is Cade Moore up there. He had an RBI single his first time. So the count on Cade is now 0-1. And so you give these younger guys some time. Here's that pitch is low. 1-1 the count. And don't let our 3-5-2 record, throw you off too much. This pitch is hit in the air. That's on the infield. Someone should get this now. Shortstop calling for it, and he makes the catch behind the mound for out number 3. So Moore pops out to short to end the inning for the Bulldogs. They pick up a run. There were 2 hits in the inning. The leadoff walk was a big one. Remember, Preston went from first to third on that sacrifice bunt. So 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and 2 men left. So the Bulldogs have now stranded 4 runners in the last 2 innings, and they lead at 2-0. Going to the bottom of 3. We'll be back after a 60-second break. 60 seconds.
Escogiendo el mejor proveedor médica puede ser difícil. Hope Community Medicine está aquí por ti. Si ocupa ayuda médica, ginecólogo o salud conductal, es nuestra misión proveer acceso de alta calidad de salud a pesar de su habilidad de pagar. Tenemos 5 clínicas en Carthage, Center, Tenaha y San Agustín para poder servir mejor a usted y su familia. 903-690-8395.
It's a powerful storm, and the power is off. Completely off. House after house in the dark, each one plunging a family into uncertainty and fear. One dark house after another, and another. And, wait, is that light? It is. And there's one reason for it. The owners of this home have a permanently installed backup power generator from Briggs & Stratton. Whole house backup power has never been easier or more affordable than with the power experts at Briggs & Stratton. So have one installed in your home and be a shining example of thinking ahead and protecting your family. Hey.
High school, Henderson Lion baseball field, and it's located on the high school campus, as is our baseball park in Carthage. This one fouled out of play. This is the 7-hole hitter, Maddox Hatchtel leading off. It's spelled H-A-C-H-T-E-L. Maddox Hatchtel. Count now is 1-1. Had some folks ask me about my injury and how things are coming along. This one fouled out of play. It's now 1-2. I broke my left wrist 7 weeks ago It was January the 9th at Carthage High School. I was in the gym broadcasting a couple of games. In between games, walking across the floor and collided with someone. This one is lined into center field. Center fielder going back. He will not get this one over his head. Ritter chases it down, gets it back into the infield, and Hatchell leads off with a double, the first base runner of the ball game for the Henderson Lions. Boy, he put a charge into that one, and Ritter, going back and to his right, could not catch up to it to make the catch, but he did catch up to it. Remember, we had some rain here today, as we did in Carthage, and so that softened the outfield a little bit. This is a totally grass field. In fact, of the 6 teams in the district, I believe I'm right on this, 4 of the 6 teams have grass fields. That would include Center, Henderson, Kilgore, and Gilmer. One has a turf infield, but grass outfield. Here's the pitch, and the batter, Trey Pinnell, trying to get a bunt down, squared around, made a commitment to it, and missed it, so that's strike 1. So 4 grass fields, 1 field, Spring Hill, with turf on the infield, grass in the outfield. And Carthage has a totally artificial turf field. Here's the next pitch over the outside corner for strike 2. In one of the games that we were playing at Spring Hill last year, they had some rain up there, and we were supposed to play, and because they had a grass outfield, the outfield was not in condition to be played on. Here's a pitch high and outside, 1-2 the count, and so we had to go to another spot to play, and I forget the exact high school that we went to, but they had a turf field. So Carthage Bulldog Park with baseball and softball there. It's nearing completion. This pitch is just outside. Didn't miss by much. 2-2 the count now. Carthage leading at 2-0 with a run in the second and a run in the third. Carthage 2 runs on 3 hits. Henderson no runs, and they just got their first hit, a leadoff double in this inning by Hatchell. Here's a 2-2. High, ball 3. Okay, so I had the injury, and then surgery was performed by Stephen Littlejohn in Longview. And just last week, I got my splint off, and this pitch is foul back. So it stays at 3-2. And the x-rays last week when they took the splint off showed that it was definitely healing. And so I'm beginning, they basically said just begin your normal operations as if it never occurred. Just make sure you go easy for a while. And so I'm in the process of doing that. 3-2 the count now. 3-2 the count on Pinnell. Runner on second, nobody out. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Pinnell goes down on strikes for out number 1. And now we go to the bottom of the order, and this is Kane Brantley. Brantley, a left-handed hitter, right fielder. Defensively for Carthage, we've got Carson Crawford at third. Shortstop is Dylan Davenport. Second baseman is Ty Chambers. And Cade Moore is at first. Brantley pops one up foul down the left field line. Cale Preston going over and can't quite get there in time. It did land in the field of play, but not in fair ground. Foul by about 20 feet, I would say. So the count now is 0-1 on Brantley. Brantley, a left-handed batter, pretty much straight away stands up at the plate. Here's a pitch to him. This one is lined in the right center field. That could be down for a hit. It will be down for a hit. That will bring in a run right there. Ritter over, gets it back into the infield, and it's an RBI double for the 9-hole hitter, Kane Brantley. So Hatchell comes in to score, and it's now a 2-1 ball game. Carthage leading. Brantley on at second with an RBI double. 1 out. And now we go back to the top of the order. And this is going to be Deshaun Jackson. Jackson flied out to Cale Preston his first time up. That was the pop-up into short left center field. That Davenport, Preston, and Ritter, all three of them were sort of converging on it, and Preston made the catch. All right, Matthew Smith looking down at Soap to get the sign, and Jackson fouls it off, trying to lay down a bunt. Jackson looks like he's got some speed. Crawford in at the edge of the grass at third base, the third baseman for the Bulldogs. He squares around to get the bunt down, gets the bunt down. Crawford's got it on one hop, throws to first. In time, boy, Jackson can really motor down the line. And Crawford had to make a flawless play there to get him, and he did. It was a one-hopper. Crawford got there in time to pick it up on the first hop and has a strong arm and got it over to first to Cade Moore in time to get Jackson. Brantley going to third, so that will be a sacrifice for Jackson. Second out of the inning. And now the tying run for Henderson with 2 outs is at third base for J.T. Howard. He lined to center his first time. Pitch is breaking ball outside. Nice stop there by Brooks Soap. Next one's over the outside corner for a strike. That gets some moans and groans from the Henderson fans that are seated in front of me right behind the plate. That pitch is strike 2 call. Ooh-wee. And I just being entirely honest, I think we may have gotten a break on each of those last 2 pitches. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Matthew Smith comes through with a big strikeout there with the tying run at third base and 2 down. So for the Henderson Lions, they pick up 1 run. There were 2 hits in the inning, both of them doubles. No Bulldog errors, and 1 runner left on base, and that was at third base. So we played 3 complete now. Carthage 2, Henderson 1. Back after this 90-second break, 90 seconds.
We all like to save money, and State Farm can help with discounts. When you combine your car insurance with your State Farm homeowners insurance, you get big savings. So talk to me, Agent Tate Barber, and experience the good neighbor service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help you make sure you get the discount you deserve. No policy with State Farm? No problem. Call me, Agent Tate Barber, at 903-693-7555 or stop by my office, 1502 West Panola, directly across the street from McDonald's, to find out how much a multi-line discount can save you.
You can trust the qualified staff at Hudson Financial Group to help you build the right policy that's created just for the needs of your farm or ranch. Randy and his team recognize the importance of the farm and ranch community in Panola County. They understand how much your property means to you and your family and the hard work it requires to maintain. Give them a call at 903-693-7874, or better yet, stop by and see them at 1519 West Panola in Carthage. The Hudson Financial Group can help you customize the coverage you need.
This is Pastor Monty Pierce, along with all the fine folks at Central Baptist Church, located 1 block off the square in beautiful downtown Carthage. If you don't have a church home and you like friendly folks and a meaningful worship service, we invite you to join us this Sunday. Check us out at centralcarthage.com for times and more information. This is Dr. Monty. Go Bulldogs!
Carson Crawford leading off in the top half of the fourth inning. Carthage leading this one 2-1. Crawford walked his first time up. Takes one outside for 1-0. Here's the next pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Looks like he squared around as if he was going to bunt on each of the first two pitches. 1-1 the count now on Carson. Right-handed hitter. Biggs the lefty with the pitch, and that's low. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1. Foul back into the screen. It's now 2-2. Carthage with a run in the second, run in the third. Henderson with a run in the third. And they left the tying run at third base when the inning ended. 2-2 count on Carson Crawford leading off in the fourth. Here's the pitch, and that's high, way high. 3-2 the count now. Almost over the catcher's head. This is a pretty big ballpark here. 3-2 the count. Swung on and missed. That one may have been outside. However, the home plate ump has had a wide zone on the outside corner to right-handed batters, and that may have been called a strike. You never do know. Okay, so Crawford out on strikes to lead off the fourth. And that brings up Patrick Malone, who reached on a fielder's choice his first time. 3:20 down the lines here. There's a strike. I believe it's also 3:20 down the lines at Bulldog Park. And the only other signs indicating the distances. Okay, this one's fouled out of play on the right side. 0-2 the count now. Would be two 381-foot signs, and they are located one about, I'd say 20 to 25 feet to the right of dead center field, and the other maybe 30 feet to the left of dead center field. Okay, that pitch is high and outside. 1-2 the count. So 381 just to the right and just to the left of center field. Dead center field, where the flagpole is. Here's the 1-2. Swung on him, missed, strike three. So Crawford and Malone both down on strikes to start the fourth. And we go now to Caden Ritter, who struck out to end the second for the Bulldogs. Remember, this weekend, Carthage will be in the Tatum tournament. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. When I first moved to town, Tatum played on the high school campus, but they've got a nice complex out on, what is that highway? Highway 43, I think. Okay. To the west of town. So when you're going on 149, that one's outside, so it's 1-1. When you're going toward Longview and you come to the stop sign, take a left. Oh, and it's going to be less than a couple of miles on your left as you're going west on 43. There's a strike, so 1-2 the count now. 1-2 on Caden Ritter with 2 outs. Nobody on here in the top of the fourth inning. Carthage up 2-1. Here's the stretch, the 1-2. This one fouled out of play. Okay, count stays at 1-2. Incidentally, Biggs, we mentioned it earlier, he's working from the stretch on all pitches, even with nobody on, like right now. He's in the stretch, and the 1-2. Hit him. So Ritter is hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count. And let's see if they no, they're not going to bring a runner in for him. So now we go back to the top of the order, and Cale Preston Preston struck out in the first inning to lead off the ball game, then walked in the third, went from first to third on the sacrifice bunt by Chambers, and then came home on the RBI double by, or RBI single by Brick Soap. Over to first, and Ritter is back in there. Again, Ritter was hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count, so we got a break there as Biggs had him set up for the strikeout. That pitch is high to Preston. 1-0 the count. I tell you what, I really admire players that do the little things that, you know, may not appear in the box score to help out the team. Kel Preston, boy, I tell you what, in basketball, he has got the ability to take a charge from the other team. He's got that down. They've got a runner now between first and second. As he took off too early, they've got him in a rundown, and the first baseman tags him out. So Ritter got in a rundown. He took off too early, and the pitcher, Biggs, stepped off the mound, and they had him in the rundown and eventually tagged out by the first baseman for out number 3. So that means that when we go to the top of the 5th, Cal Preston will be leading off. And we'll go now to the bottom of the 4th. Carthage up 2-1. Bottom of the 4 coming up right after this 90-second break.
Right on the loop, right on the price at Excel Ford ensures the SUV, truck, or car you choose, new or previously owned, is right for you. Your visit and your questions are welcome, even if you're just browsing. Any information you want will be provided. It's the foundation of exceptional customer service that frees you to proceed at your pace and even provides a money-back guarantee. Right on the price and right on the loop. Excel Ford, Carthage, Texas.
This is Darcy with Carthage Flower Shop on the Square, where we are more than just flowers. In shop, we keep a variety of live pot plants, silk arrangements, snack baskets, candles, keepsakes, and a great bath and body line called Magnolia Soaps. We now offer balloon arch installations, so give us a call for your next event. We can even get flowers to your loved one out of town. Thank you for all your continued support, Darcy, Jeanette, Levi, and the girls at Carthage Flower Shop.
When making important decisions, it's reassuring to count on people you know. First State Bank and Trust Company is that group of people offering home loans or everyday depository needs. First State Bank and Trust is recognized as being among the most reliable, strongest banks as determined by our nation's leading bank rating firm, Bauer Financial Incorporated. It's a 5-star rated bank of people you know, always innovating for your changing financial needs. Member FD.
Aiden Butler leading off in the bottom of the 4th for the Henderson Lions and fouls the first one. Sort of cued it off the end of his bat down toward first base. Right-handed hitter. He popped out to Soap his first time up. Here's the 0-1. This one hit to the shortstop. Davenport up with it. Throw to first. And a nice scoop over there by Cade Moore. That was a low throw. And Moore saved Davenport an error. That was a short hop, and Moore came up with it. Nice play, Cade Moore. Way to go. And again, the Bulldogs, Coach Causey has told me, you know, that Bulldogs can pitch, they can play defense. The issue is going to be our hitting, at least at the start of the year here. Here's a pitch, and this one is a breaking ball. Oh, man, that looked good, but evidently was inside or low to Caden Foster. Foster struck out his first time. 1-0 to Foster. Smith to the plate. Outside, 2-0. So it's going to be the 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters in the 4th here for the Henderson Lions. Carthage leading it 2-1. This one hit fouled out of play. Two and 1 the count. Now remember, we'll be back over here in a few weeks. Let's see if I can figure out exactly when that'll be. Okay, here's the pitch. In there for strike 2 call. 2-2 the count. So today is the 5th Super Tuesday. Incidentally, it's probably already happened that Ken Carroll is going to interrupt. This one is hit down the left field line. Preston going over to his right, and he dives for it and comes up with a great play out there by Cale Preston. Wow. That young man, I tell you what, he pretty much excels in one way or another in every sport that he plays. That was a line drive down the left field line, and Preston left his feet and came up with it on the dive. Outstanding play by Cale Preston. So Foster lines out to left. And there's a strike to the 5-hole. This is Mason Jones, who popped out to Cade Moore his first time up. In there for a strike, 0-1. This one swung on and missed, strike 2. Yeah, I tell you what, Cale Preston, he's again a four sport. I'll get it out. 4 sport athlete. Wide receiver in football, starter in basketball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike, 3 call, got him. So Jones is called out on strikes, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Matthew Smith. And we go now to the top of 5. We'll take a 90-second break, 90 seconds, and we'll be back. Top of 5 coming up. Carthage up 2-1.
Monty Bacon and Carthage Furniture has some great deals for you. Rocker recliners just $3.99. A hot plug washer and dryer set. Washer $5.49, dryer $4.99, and that includes installation and delivery. A complete bedroom suite, queen bed, dresser, mirror, chest, and nightstands. This is a beautiful sleigh bed set for only $11.35. Monty has a 5-drawer chest, just $125. At Carthage Furniture, check out their blue sofa and love seat. Sofa $459, love seat $3.99.
Carthage, Panola, and surrounding counties for supporting your local GM dealer, Pippin Motor Company, right here in Carthage. We are your Buick SUV headquarters. Come check out one of the many economical solutions Buick has to offer. Encore, Encore GX, Envision, or Enclave are sure to fit your needs. Whether you're looking for a new Buick, Chevrolet, GMC, or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we're here to help. Pippin Motor Company has been serving this community for 72 years and pride ourselves with providing a premium sales and service experience. Come experience a better way to buy a vehicle just across from Panola College, or look us up on the web at pippinmotorcompany.com.
Are you planning a trip but you need a set of tires? Don't worry. Let Graves Tires at 809 East Sabine in Carthage show you the affordable way to go. Graves Tires offers name brand tires at a savings. Their number 903-693-4841. They even have used tires for sale. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5, and on Saturday, 7:30 to noon. Remember, at Graves, you always save.
Cale Preston leading off here in the 5th. First pitch was a strike. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1 the count. I mentioned that he knows how to take a charge in basketball. There was one game I was broadcasting this year. He took 4 offensive charging fouls in one game, 4 different times. And I tell you what, that doesn't just happen by accident. You've got to anticipate the chance to do that. That pitch is, let's see, I think the count should be maybe 2-1. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Pitcher has it. Throw to first, and it gets away from the first baseman, and Preston's going to be safe. So Preston gets on first. That was a high throw. I tell you what, if the throw's on the mark, they've got him. So I think you pretty much got to give an error there on the throw, although it was a tough play for the pitcher. Preston, with his speed, made it close and put some pressure on the pitcher. So he's on first now with nobody out. Yeah, he took 4 charging fouls in one game. And I tell you what, and he's got it down. He knows how to sell it too to the officials. All right, here's the bunt by Chambers. He's got it. Throw to first. Got him. And moving to second. So that is the second sacrifice bunt by Ty Chambers. Boy, that shows you something right there. You know, some players are efficient at getting it down and some are not, and Ty Chambers has done it twice now, his last 2 at-bats. And again, what I mentioned earlier, Carthage is going to have to play some small ball, especially early in the year here with these new starters that we've got. We just don't have anyone. I'd really be shocked. Here's the pitch, and it's inside to Brooks Soap. Soap grounded a second his first time up, and then had an RBI single in the third. He's got a chance for another RBI right here. I guarantee you a single to the outfield, and Preston's going to score. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. It's interesting to see where outfields play. You know, in my opinion, okay, they're playing pretty deep here for Soap. I think that's I think if I were a Henderson coach, I'd be bringing him in, particularly the right fielder. Here's a pitch outside, and the count now is 2-1. I always remember the comment that Scott Lee, who coached at Carthage for, 25 years, something like that, took him to, let's see, about 3 or 4 state tournaments. This pitch fouled out of play. 2-2 the count. 1990, 1994, 2000, 2005. I guess he took him to 4 state tournaments. And he told me a couple of times that, you know, his outfielders played pretty shallow against every team that we played. Here's a 2-2 pitch. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. So Soap down on strikes for out number 2. And the reason he played them shallow is because his feeling was that there's going to be more batted balls that are going to fall in front of the outfielders if they're playing pretty deep. The more they're going to be falling in front of them than are going to be hit over their heads. Here's the pitch now to the left-handed hitter. This is Taylor Marshall. Marshall walked his first time and scored a run, and then he struck out back in the third. So we've got Preston on second. He reached on an error, went to second on the sacrifice bunt. That one fouled back up over the screen. Now, is it possible for a baseball to come in the press box here? I think it is. Okay, I'm getting a signal from the PA announcer here. It has happened. And early in this ballgame, there was one that came back, and it went to our right. But I tell you what, if it'd been headed straight back, I think it would have come in. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. That's a scary thought coming in the press box, because it can get back here in a hurry. Here's the 1-2. This one, little flare to the first baseman. Easy play for the first baseman to make. And so that ends the top half of the 5th inning. So for the Bulldogs, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. So we now go to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, Carthage leading 2-1. We'll take a 90-second break. 90 seconds.
Check off your to-do list with big savings on building materials at Kane Hardware and Lumber. Kane's is your one-stop shop for building materials for large-scale jobs, small projects, and everything in between. Whether you're building a house, adding on, or just updating, we carry the concrete, drywall, lumber, insulation, roofing, siding, molding, and many more products you'll need. Add character and charm to your home with our large selection of paint colors. We have all the products you need. Shop Kane Hardware and Lumber at 224 South Shelby Street in Carthage.
Carthage Independent School District is where champions are educated. As we face another year of uncertainty, Carthage will remain committed to being champions for every child, every day. We will continue being champions in the classroom with the help of our incredible team of teachers. We will continue being champions in extracurriculars, fine arts, and athletic events with the support of our fans along the way. And we will continue being champions for our community. Thank you.
The city of Carthage, county seat of Panola County, gas capital of the United States, and friendliest spot in the world. We have it all: temperate weather, lots of jobs, good schools and churches, and even the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame. Carthage, a great spot on Highway 59 to settle down or just to visit for a while. Panola College, local medical care, a low tax base, and great shopping. That's Carthage. Recommend us, refer us, and revive yourself in the piney woods of East Texas. Carthage, with places we're all proud to call home.
All right, Larry Allen back here at Henderson Lyon Field, along with Brenton Fensom. Brenton doing the video for you. And incidentally, that pitch is a ball one. This is Connor Fabiani leading off. He popped out to third base his first time up. 1-0 to Fabiani. That pitch is low and outside. 2-0 the count now. If you're listening on 104.3 FM, you can watch this. Go to YouTube. And my guess would be this one is hit out to right field. Right fielder going back and over to his left, 3 steps, and one hands it for out number one, excuse me. So Fabiani lines out to Patrick Malone in right field. And now Maddox Hachtel comes up. Hachtel doubled and scored the only run for Henderson back in the third inning. 1 out in the bottom of 5. This pitch is popped up foul. Right side. Cade Moore over in foul ground. Does he have room? I guess he did. He went out of our view because he was close to the going out of the field of play, and the dugout screened us as far as being able to see what happened there. But the catch was made, so 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. And this one is hit to center field. Ritter is there and makes the catch. Boy, a fast inning there for Matthew Smith here in the bottom of the 5th. As Pinnell lines out to center. And we go now to the top of the 6th. The score: Carthage 2, Henderson 1. Back after this 90-second break.
Throughout Texas, Louisiana, and New Mexico, one of the largest independent oil field service companies is Pinergy, ranked number 1 in the United States for total number of wells drilled. You'll likely recognize Pinergy Carthage top management: Randy Taylor, Brandon Taylor, Andy Snow, Justin Taylor, and Steve Nations. At the Austin corporate office, senior management offers a combined 400 years experience regarding energy services. No more. Check the website pinergy.com or call 903-693-8400. Pinergy. Better solutions, better building comes from Louisiana Pacific, caring and involved corporate residents. Friends and neighbors in Panola County are the foundation of business at Louisiana Pacific, delivering high-performance building products in the area. You know these folks. You know them from church, civic clubs, as volunteers in the work they do in the community, and at Louisiana Pacific. Good people in good company with you and Louisiana Pacific.
Genpack Carthage, over 50 years servicing the food and restaurant industry with superior products. Advancing innovative packaging to enhance the human experience is more than just our purpose statement. It's our driving passion to make people's lives better through the food packaging they use daily. Genpack's dedication to quality assures you get food containers and packaging at its best. Browse and find what you need at genpack.com or look for our products on amazon.com. We are everywhere. Made right here in Carthage by folks you know. Genpack.
Let's go now to the top of the 6th. And for the Carthage Bulldogs, leading it 2-1, it's going to be Dylan Davenport, Cade Moore, and Carson Crawford. Davenport put on a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, then singled in the 3rd, so he's 1 for 1. Davenport, a returning starter from last year. And again, the Bulldogs lost 5 starters from last year, and all of them at least 2-year starters, and I just can't recall for sure how many of them were 3-year starters. Okay, that one's in there for a strike, so the count now is 1-1. on Dylan Davenport. Davenport was one of our pitchers last year. He's also a pitcher this year. This one, it fouled out of play, right side. Remember, I'm sure that if you've been following the game from the start of it, and it started about 7:14, a little bit late, that there's already been some occasions where Ken Carroll has come in with some results in the election for today. This pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, so Davenport down on strikes to start the 6th. Really looking forward to seeing the new ballpark. You know, last year the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs played a few games at the end of the season, but we had basically the field was ready to be played on. Okay, the artificial turf was down. That was basically it. And, of course, they had the dugouts. That pitch is inside. 1-0 the count to Cade Moore. Moore, RBI single in the second, popped out to short. An inning later, this ball is hit to left center field, and the catch is made out there by the left fielder, so Moore flies out to left. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. But it is going to be, if not one of the best baseball high school facilities in the state, maybe the best when it's totally finished. This pitch fouled up and out of play. Don't hold me to this, but I believe on the softball field there's going to be 400 chairback seats. And on the baseball part of it, I think 750 chairback seats. This one is popped up. Right side, second baseman out on the grass, and two-hands it for out number 3. So Crawford flies out to short right to the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down for the Bulldogs here in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of 6th, and we'll be back on the other side of this 90-second break. 90 seconds, and we'll return.
FlowZone is your industry leader for all oil and gas pipe, valve fitting, and supply needs. FlowZone Carthage has over 130 years of combined experience with an outstanding safety record. FlowZone, located at 1092 Highway 59 South, just south of Denny's, is ready to offer customer service that will exceed your expectations with services such as free delivery and competitive pricing. Call them today, 903-263-0200.
Ready to supercharge your future in the energy industry? Panola College is introducing the brand new Matthews Foundation Energy Building, opening its doors this fall with programs in electrician, HVAC, natural gas compression, and welding. Small class sizes, state-of-the-art equipment, and personalized attention, where your goals are our priority. Our hands-on approach means you're diving into the real-world energy experience, setting you up for success from day one. Enroll today at panola.edu/energy to start your electrifying future.
Bink's Quick Stop in Carthage on the corner of 699 and the Loop. Open Sunday through Thursday from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. Open for breakfast, and the grill is open throughout the day, and it provides the best hamburgers in town. You can also get a grilled chicken or chicken fried steak. It's all.
Go to the bottom of the 6th here in Henderson at Henderson High School. Game moving along at a really nice pace. It is what now? 8:36. So we've been playing about an hour and 22 minutes, and we're already in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a strike to the leadoff hitter. This is a 9-hole hitter, Kane Brantley, who doubled in a run his first time up. So he doubled in the only run for Henderson. This one is hit down to left field. Here's Preston going over to his right and reaches up and makes the catch. K.O. Preston ranging to his right and made the catch out there in left field for out number 1. So Brantley out on the line drive, and that brings up now the one-hole hitter, the leadoff man's got great speed, Deshaun Jackson. This one is popped up on the infield. Someone should get it. And Carson Crawford two-hands it at third base for out number 2. Boy, good to have that young man retired because he has outstanding speed. He flied out to left his first time, and the second time he put down a sacrifice bunt. And it took a perfect play by Carson Crawford to get him at first. Very close to being an infield hit. Here's J.T. Howard. Howard up and missing on a breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Here's the next pitch, and it's outside. 1-1 the count now. I don't have the pitch count. Okay. 54 for our pitcher right now. Okay. 54 pitches for Matthew Smith right now. If that was number 55, it's outside. 2-1 the count. Boy, that's outstanding. 55 pitches, and he's got 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. This one, high hopper over Smith's head. Davenport on the run, gets it, and then throws low. It's going to be an error for Davenport. Now, one of the keys for this team that's having some struggles in scoring runs is not making mistakes, not committing errors. And that was a high hopper over Smith's head. Davenport came in and to his right, got to the ball on about I'm guessing the second hop. Maybe it was the third, and threw short to first. Moore tried to dig it out, could not. So that's going to be an error on the shortstop. And he's now at first base with 2 down. And of course that means also not only is he at first base now, but your pitcher's just going to he's going to throw some more pitches now. The limit in one game is 110. And that's an average of about 16 pitches per inning. And if he gets this young man on this next pitch, he's averaging under 10 pitches an inning. That pitch is high for ball 1, a breaking ball. So that's our first error of the ball game. That's a mistake there. Each team with an error now. Here's the 1-0. And that's low for 2-0. Yeah, we should have been out of the inning here. But we made a mistake. Here's a stretch by Matthew Smith. Looks back, looks at the runner at first base. And now time is called. This is the 3-hole hitter up now, Aiden Butler. Butler popped out to the catcher, Brooks Soap, and then grounded out to short. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. 2-1. For Carthage in the top of the 7, it's going to be the 8 and 9-hole hitters, and then back to the top of the order in Cale Preston. This is Butler up there now, right-handed batter. Slightly closed stance. This one is an off-speed pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2. Carthage will be in action this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Tatum in the Tatum tournament. And in one of their 4 games, they will play the Tatum Eagles. Here's a 2-2 pitch, high, throw down to second, trying to steal, and he's going to be out at second base. Nice throw by Brooks Soap. Wow. A sophomore catcher gunned him down as Howard attempted to steal second. And Brooks Soap with a nice throw guns him down, and that ends the bottom half of the 6th inning. So Howard is out 2-6, I believe, as the shortstop took the throw. So no runs. No hits, An error, our first of the ball game, and no runners left. All right, we go down to the top of 7. Carthage up 2-1. Back after this 60-second break. 60 seconds.
Farmers State Bank, a name that you know and can depend on. We're your neighbors and community partners. We're committed to meeting your financial needs by providing banking solutions for your mortgage, commercial, or personal loans. With 118 years of service to our community, we're part of your local rodeos, 4-H, and festivals. We want you to know that we're here for you. Visit us at fsbctx.bank or come see us today. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Escogiendo el mejor proveedor médica puede ser difícil. Hope Community Medicine está aquí por ti. Si ocupa ayuda médica, ginecólogo o salud conductal, es nuestra misión proveer acceso de alta calidad de salud a pesar de su habilidad de pagar. Tenemos 5 clínicas en Carthage, Center, Tenaha y San Agustín para poder servir mejor a usted y su familia. 903-690-8395.
Top of 7 coming up here at Henderson High School at Henderson Lion Baseball Field. And the Carthage Bulldogs lead the Henderson Lions 2-1 as we go to the 7th. And it will be for the Bulldogs now. Patrick Malone leading off. He reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th. Carthage with just 3 hits in the ball game so far. Henderson has 2 hits. First pitch is a ball. No, it's a strike, excuse me. 0-1 to Malone. Both starting pitchers still in there. Brian Biggs, the lefty, to the plate. This one line down the left field line. Going to be a foul ball. Foul by, 25 to 30 feet, something like that. So he got around on it, but pulled it foul. So now he's behind in the count 0-2. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Malone down on strikes. And that brings up Caden Ritter, who has struck out and then was hit by a pitch back in the 4th. He was hit on a 1-2 pitch. And then after Ritter, it'll be the top of the order and Cale Preston coming up. And he's hit by a pitch again. That one just barely nicked him, evidently. So Ritter hit by a pitch for the 2nd time in the ball game. And he trots down to first. He's on first with 1 out for Cale Preston. Preston struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and scored our 2nd run, and then put out a bunt in the 5th inning. And I ruled it as an error, but the official, the stats that we keep, Jason Causey the head coach makes the call, had the final decision on that, as he should. And I know, his strategy is that he tends to, give our hitters the benefit of the doubt, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if he didn't reel that bunt in the 5th inning a base hit. It was close. I think he would have been out if the throw had been on the mark. Here's the pitch to Preston. He squares around the bunt, takes it high for ball 1. In my opinion, he's an outstanding bunter. And when you combine that with the fact that he bats from the left side and the fact that he's got good speed, squares around the bunt, again high, 2-0. And Henderson has the 3rd baseman charging in, and they should. He is an outstanding bunter. Definitely the best on the team last year. Had several singles on bunt singles. 2-0 the count, squares around again. Takes that one a strike. That was a little bit high to be trying to lay it down. At least it appeared that way from our vantage point right here. But I must admit, that we're probably 20 feet above home plate on the Tried to bunt that one and missed it, so now the count's 2-2. So he was ahead in the count 2-0. Now it's 2-2. Probably will not be trying to put the bunt down here, because if he fouls it off, then it's strike 3, of course. Third baseman coming in, though, on the grass. Two-two the count. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Preston goes down on strikes. So he got ahead 2-0, but winds up striking out for out number 2. That brings up now Ty Chambers. Now, I don't know what type of speed Ritter has at first base, whether or not Coach Causey would try to steal with him here with 2 outs, try to get the runner in scoring position. Chambers lined to center and then has put down 2 straight sacrifice bunts. So he knows how to put down the bunt, but there's 2 outs here, so if he bunts here, he'd be bunting for a base hit. Incidentally, Biggs, the Henderson pitcher, is now at 61 pitches, so he's in great shape too. Oh, he's 109 now. Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay, so so he's going to reach 110 right here. Okay, pardon me. Okay. He's at 109. So this will be 110. So he, in other words, he'll be able to finish this at bat to Chambers. The limit is 110, but if you reach 110 right in the middle of an at bat by a opposing hitter, you can finish that at bat. Here's the 110th pitch. This is fouled off. So that's 110. So he's got to come out. If Chambers gets on, he's got to come out after the at-bat by Chambers, if he gets on. And the count's 0-2 on Chambers. Ty Chambers, one of the returning starters from last year, along with Cale Preston and Dylan Davenport. Cade Moore started some last year also. Okay, so now the Henderson coach is going to come out, and who knows, we may have a pitching change coming up right now in the middle of the at-bat for Chambers. I think it sort of depends on how Biggs is feeling right now. Well, we probably could have taken a break right here, but since we didn't, I think we'll keep it here because now the home plate ump is going to take a stroll out to the mound to make sure this conference ends. And he gets about halfway, maybe 40% of the way out to the mound, and then the Henderson head coach, Jordan O'Bannon, starts heading back toward the dugout. Okay, so we're in the top of the 7th. Carthage leading 2-1, 2 down. Runner on first, 0-2 count on Ty Chambers. Here's the stretch by Biggs, the 0-2. High, 1-2. And again, this will be about the 112th pitch of the ball game for Biggs, so he's going to have to come out if Chambers gets on. There goes the runner. Pitch is popped up right side. Second baseman going over down toward the line and makes the catch for out number 3. Nice play by the second baseman. He had to go a long way for that. He was going to be the one to make the play. The first baseman, no chance there. The right fielder couldn't get to it. So Chambers pops out to second to end the top of the 7th inning for the Bulldogs. So for the Bulldogs, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Okay, so now we go to the bottom of the 7th. Matthew Smith going to try to finish this one, pitch a complete game. And he's going to start this inning with 61 total pitches. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Carthage up 2-1. We'll take a 60-second break.
It's a powerful storm, and the power is off. Completely off. House after house in the dark. Each one plunging a family into uncertainty and fear. One dark house after another, and another. And, wait, is that light? It is. And there's one reason for it. The owners of this home have a permanently installed backup power generator from Briggs & Stratton. Whole house backup power has never been easier or more affordable than with the power experts at Briggs & Stratton. So have one installed in your home and be a shining example of thinking ahead and protecting your family. Hey, somebody has to light the way. Whole house backup power generators from Briggs & Stratton.
Briggs & Stratton, sold at Howell's AC and Electrical in Carthage. Call 903-693-7451.
We all like to save money, and State Farm can help with discounts. When you combine your car insurance with your State Farm homeowners insurance, you get big savings. So talk to me, Agent Tate Barber, and experience the good neighbor service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help you make sure you get the discount you deserve. No policy with State Farm? No problem. Call me, Agent Tate Barber, at 903-693-7555 or stop by my office, 1502 West Panola, directly across the street from McDonald's, to find out how much a multi-line discount can save you.
Bottom of the 7th. Carthage leading 2-1, and the first hitter is Aiden Butler. Remember, Butler was at the plate with a 2-2 count on him when J.T. Howard was thrown out trying to steal. That pitch is outside. The count now is 1-1. So we've got the meat of the Henderson order up here in the 7th inning. 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters. 1-1 on Butler. Here's the 1-1. Out low. 2-1 the count now. Looks like Matthew Smith is rushing his pitches a little bit quicker pace. Here's a bouncer on the left side. Could be trouble. Davenport up with it. Throws to first. Got him at first base. Close play. Wow. Wow, that was a big play there. Now remember, Davenport in the previous inning made an error on a throw to first. And there, it was a tough play there. You could see trouble written all over that when the ball left the bat. You knew it was going to get past Matthew Smith. It was to his right, and he couldn't get to it. And so it was going to be Davenport or a base hit, really. And Davenport, with an accurate throw there, a rocket to first, right on the money, and barely nipped Butler at first base. So, Butler is out 6-3, 1 out in the inning. That pitch is outside, and the count now is 2-1. Or is it 1-1? I guess it's 2-1 now. 2-1 on Caden Foster. This is the cleanup hitter right here. Stockily built right-handed hitter. Foster is struck out and then lined to left. Sharply hit ball on that line drive to left field. This ball is hit foul out of play, so now it's a 2-2 count on Foster. So we're in the bottom of the 7th. Carthage leading Henderson 2-1. And this could be, a type of we could have this type of game quite a bit early in this season. This pitch is low. The count now is 3-2. Here's the 3-2. High ball forward. Didn't miss by much. And the Henderson Lions now have the tying run on first with 1 out.
Ready to supercharge your future in the energy industry?
Jones popped to first and then struck out. So the Lions got the tying run on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Carthage up 2-1. Here's the stretch by Matthew Smith. Looks back. This pitch is high and inside. He looked back towards second or towards center field. There's no runner at second base. I don't know for sure why he did that. We want to know the count. Personally, I thought as he started this 7th inning, looked like that his tempo had picked up some, faster than normal. You know, got the adrenaline going. He's just 2 outs away from a complete game. Here's the pitch. That one's inside and high. 2-0 the count. Sometimes those last 3 outs are really tough to get. Tying run on first with 1 out. And the batter asked for time and plate umpire granted it. 73 pitches now for Matthew Smith. The 2-0 pitch. 2-1 the count. And I don't know if my microphone can pick up crowd noise, but there were some moans and groans from the Henderson fans. I can understand why. That looked like it may have been off the plate by a few inches. 2-1 the count. Here's a 2-1. Strike 2 call. And that was in the same spot as the previous pitch. You know, most high school umpires, you know, they're going to expand the zone on the outside corner. They usually don't expand it on the inside corner, but the outside corner. Here's a 2-2. This one is hit into left field for a base hit. All right, Cale Preston up with it, and now the tying runs at second base. That was a line drive to the right of Davenport at shortstop. And so now what do you do if you're Jason Causey? Well, I tell you what you do. You're going to go out to the mound. Okay, so we're going to take a 30-second break. 30 seconds and we'll be back. Let's make it 60 seconds.
You can trust the qualified staff at Hudson Financial Group to help you build the right policy that's created just for the needs of your farm or ranch. Randy and his team recognize the importance of the farm and ranch community in Panola County. They understand how much your property means to you and your family and the hard work it requires to maintain. Give them a call at 903-693-7874, or better yet, stop by and see them at 1519 West Panola in Carthage. The Hudson Financial Group can help you customize the coverage you need.
This is Pastor Monty Pierce, along with all the fine folks at Central Baptist Church, located 1 block off the square in beautiful downtown Carthage. If you don't have a church home and you like friendly folks and a meaningful worship service, we invite you to join us this Sunday. Check us out at centralcarthage.com for times and more information. This is Dr. Monty. Go Bulldogs!
All right, the conference at the mound is ended between Jason Causey and his entire infield. And he must have liked what he heard from Matthew Smith. Because he's leaving him in there. Matthew now at 76 pitches. This is Connor Fabiani up there now. He is popped to third and then lined to right. Breaking ball in there for a strike. So in this inning, a 1-out walk on a 3-2 pitch to Caden Foster, and then a single to left by Mason Jones. And Henderson has the tying run at second, the winning run at first base, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Strike 2 call on another breaking ball in the outside corner. And again, he's calling it consistently out there. It's a little bit off the corner of the plate. There's no doubt about that, but not much.
This is Pastor Monty Pierce, along with all the fine
Fabiani. Here's the stretch by Smith. The pitch high on a fastball, high and inside. 1-2 now on Fabiani. Obviously, this is the crunch time right here in the ball game. 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2, and it's hit foul down the first base side. So it stays 1-2. 80 pitches now for Matthew Smith. I think that's the high for him this year. Here's a stretch by Matthew, the 1-2. This one hit to right field. Right fielder going back. He is there and two-hands it for out number 2. Here's the tag at second. And throw to first. It gets away from the first baseman. Okay, that catch was made out in right field on a line drive by Fabiani. He hit it well. That's out number 2. And then the tag was made at second. And the runner advanced to third. They threw to first because the runner at first was off the bag. And I tell you what, if we'd had to throw on the money, I think we could have doubled him up and ended the ball game. But the throw was high. It got over the head of Cade Moore. And fortunately, we had Brooks Soap still covering the plate. So the runner who was on second advanced to third. And if Brooks Soap had not been covering the plate, I think the runner from third would have tried to score. So now the tying runs at third with 2 down. This one hit to right field. This could do it right here. Right fielder over to his left. He is there. Makes the catch. Dogs win. First pitch to Maddox Hatchtel, and he flied out to right, and the Dogs win it by a score of 2-1. As the right fielder there, Patrick Malone, went to his left, made the catch, and the Dogs win a tight one here over the Henderson Lions. So for Henderson, in the bottom half of the 7th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they left 2 on base. They left the tying run at third base to end the ball game. Okay, I'll be back in 60 seconds to wrap this one up.
Right on the loop, right on the price at Excel Ford ensures the SUV, truck, or car you choose, new or previously owned, is right for you. Your visit and your questions are welcome, even if you're just browsing. Any information you want will be provided. It's the foundation of exceptional customer service that frees you to proceed at your pace and even provides a money-back guarantee. Right on the price and right on the loop. Excel Ford, Carthage, Texas.
This is Darcy with Carthage Flower Shop on the Square, where we are more than just flowers. In shop, we keep a variety of live pot.
All right, well, I'm not for sure if they had the ability at the station, with the game being on YouTube, to record the wrap-up. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to end the broadcast here, and I will get the wrap-up to you either when before leaving the ballpark here or after I get home. I'll call down to the station. But the Bulldogs win it here by a score of 2-1. The Bulldogs had 2 runs on 3 hits, committed 1 error. They stranded 6 in the ball game. And for the Henderson Lions, they had 1 run on 3 hits. They committed an error, and they stranded 3. Matthew Smith goes the distance, and he gets the victory, and the Dogs win it by a score of 2-1. So Henderson now is 4-6-1 for the season, 0-1 in district play. Carthage 4-5-2 for the season, and they are 1-0 in district play. The Bulldogs will be in action. They'll play 4 games this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, in the Tatum tournament. And the next home game, or the next district game for the Bulldogs, will be a week from tonight when they host the Spring Hill Panthers at Bulldog Park. So the final score again, Carthage 2, Henderson 1. For your Sports Beat station, I'm Larry Allen from Henderson.